going on, guys? Welcome back to another backyard simulator video. We're doing another subscriber requested course. This one comes the courtesy of Martin Totterdale again. Shout out to you for all the suggestions and all the support. I really appreciate it. We are playing the Celtic Manor golf club and resort. This is the 2010 course. From what he was saying, this is the home of the 2010 Ryder Cup. So I think there was 3 18-hole championship level courses, so this is one out of the 3. This is in Newport, UK, United Kingdom, so should be pretty challenging. There was only 2 options for men's and women's tees, so we're playing the men's, of course. I would have thought for a Ryder Cup type course that there would have been some more options to go further back, but it is what it is. Last night we actually had a good amount of rain, so some of this mulch was able to get kind of leveled out and dampened down a little bit, which is good. A little more patted down and kind of set in stone to where it is. And compared to basically the past month, it's actually 20 to 30 degrees cooler right now. So this is the first time in over a month that I've been able to come out here before about 3 o'clock because it's been so brutal. So definitely a lot nicer playing here. Still got a little sweat going, but compared to over 100 degrees, I'll take 70 or 80 degrees all day. And we're going to be trying out, I've had this club in the bag for, this is actually a hand-me-down club I first got when I first started. I used to use this a lot. This is a 60 degree. Used to use this all the time from like anywhere from 100 yards and in. It was basically just my go-to club. A couple years ago I got a 52 degree and I started using that, doing a lower, more controllable bump and run around the green. Recently, as you guys have seen, the past couple weeks, I got a 56 degree club added to the bag. That's not bad, I still like it, but that has a pretty thick sole on it and a lot of bounce. So I've been using that mainly on course out of thicker grass. This is usually the 60 degree, has less bounce on it and a thinner sole, so should be better off tight lies. I hit a couple practice shots with it to kind of get a feel for how far some of these clubs will go, or how far I choke down on it, how far the yardage will go with this club. So we're gonna try it out. There might be a few hairy chip shots here where I don't get my yardages exactly correct, but I think going forward, once we get used to using actually all 3 wedges in the bag, should be able to put up more better consistent scores. So like always, Garmin Approach R10. Hopefully no wonkiness or bugginess in this. I don't have the plastic container over it like I showed you guys in last video. So no plastic container. Again, not sure why that would make a difference for last time. I used that for probably 20 or 30 other videos that you guys have seen, but I guess we'll go without it. Hopefully we don't have to wake up the R10 too much. Using the Country Club Elite mat where I can hit down into it a little bit, put some tees into it, and then some 10x7 nets. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. First hole is a par 4, 443 yards. Haven't hit driver yet today, so this could be interesting. We're using the custom settings, the 5,300 feet on altitude, 65% humidity, and 85 degrees. Seems to be pretty good yardage wise from what I play on course, so that's what we're going with. First hole, we got a dog leg left. We're gonna aim up here about 300-ish and hopefully put a little draw on the driver here and have it come back into the middle of the fairway. And again, I'll mention it quickly, Martin has given me a couple courses that I should try out and he'd like to see me play. Any of you guys out there, there's been a few other you as well that have given me courses, but I still have a list going. I have a few more courses that people have mentioned, so any of you out there that are watching this video, let me know either your home course, a quirky course that you've heard of, maybe a famous course that I haven't played yet. Even give me a couple of them, give me 5 courses. Just let me know in the comments. So here we go. First driver swing of the day. Well, the driver struggles continue. I literally popped that up, I can see it. It's a first swing of the day with the driver, ball into the woods. Nice new sky mark on the driver. That's terrible. I'm hitting underneath all these drivers. It seems to take me a couple holes to get used to it, and then I start hitting better shots, but that went, I think, like 60 yards, which is probably pretty accurate back there in the woods. Horrendous. All right, well, that's one way to start it. 3 hybrid. We're gonna aim, we'll take that line up there. Low and left, foot slipped a little bit. Well, that's 2 horrendous shots and 2 strokes burned off the bat. I mentioned this in another one. It always seems like, granted, first hole of the day, it always seems like I put myself in a hole score-wise, and then I have to battle back the rest of the round. So we've got 260. We're gonna aim right up there at the pin. We got 10% reduction in power. Gotta love it. That was better. That was still low and left, but at least we got some distance on it. Rough must have killed it. I definitely went up further than 146, but okay. So we need 116 plus we're gonna need another 11. So we're looking at 127-ish. Gonna hit pitching wedge. I'm not doing myself any favors, but so far, Celtic Manor, the 2010 course, is doing me dirty. I'm gonna choke down slightly on the pitching wedge. That was struck pretty good. That should be straight. If anything, it'll be a little long, I would think. All right, we're probably staring down the barrel of a double or a triple bogey here, but yikes. Double bogey, first hole. All right, we need some redemption with this driver. Second hole, par 5. Looks straight. We got a bunch of bunkers, but gonna aim up there. Still not a great swing, but certainly better than the first one. .250-ish, hopefully here. Get a few driver swings under the belt. We'll get closer to that 275 number that I like to play on course. Ideally, like I mentioned, closer to 300 eventually, once we really start figuring out this driver that, again, similar with the wedges and the hybrids, only a few weeks old. So, still a long way home. We're gonna aim all the way up here, hit the 3 hybrid. I'm looking for something basically 220 plus with this club. This is basically a grip it and rip it. If I probably should just start practicing with 3 wood off the deck. I would assume I'd get more distance out of that, so that would probably be, this kind of shot would be good for that. Long par 5 type shot where you got a long way home still. That's pretty far left. And the R10 didn't like it. You get a mulligan on it. Gonna give it a couple seconds here, just in case it registers late. that was hit much better. Of course we catch the bunker, but with the shortage that was probably close to 225-ish with the power reduction out of the rough. So we've got 144 to the pin, minus 20% because we're in the bunker. So that's going to be another 30 yards. So we're looking at about 175, which that's between an 8 and a 7 because we're still not fully warmed up and it's cooler here compared to what I've been used to playing the past basically month. Gonna go nice smooth, a little bit softer 7. Hopefully get that up there, get the ball rolling a little bit, get a couple good shots going. That's not gonna be on the green. Actually caught the mulch, that was so low, I think. Ugh. I think I'm gonna wait for it to rain one more time, nice good heavy rain, and then really have all this mulch really sink down and level out, and then I'll come out here with probably a couple 2x4s, maybe even an actual level, and really get the mulch dialed in level wise. I think it seemed like there was a little bit of a hump here. The ball caught that, which that was an awful shot low, but you don't really want that. And then still with my feet, I bring the mat in and out every single time just to make the Country Club Elite mat last a little longer versus leaving it out here in all the weather. But that's pretty good. I move that a little bit each time I come out. There's 2 bricks in front holding it in place, and just from where I stand, to be expected, I kind of get foot marks here that dig me down a little bit, so may need another bag or 2 of mulch there eventually. All right, take a sip of coffee. It's actually not over 100 degrees out here, so I can have coffee. So we got 49 with the slope, plus we'll need another 4 or 5, so we're looking right around 55-ish. Hit that pretty good, I think. A little long. I kind of realized and noticed here versus on course, it seemed like all my wedges, I kind of just line up regular like all my iron shots, versus on course, I open up. Excuse me. Open up my stance a little bit, so I'm gonna try to remember to do that a little bit. Should be able to straighten it out. For a couple weeks now, I've been pulling everything left with the wedges, so that should, opening up the stance, straighten things out a little bit and make some better contact, I would hope. So, +3 through 2, not ideal, but third hole, par 3, we got a bunch of water. We're looking at 188 up 1. We need a good amount of carry here. This should be starting to get a little sweat going, so it should be a nice stock 6-iron shot here from 190. That's in the water. Alright, we still got some work to do. So, 169 with the slope, plus we need another 16 or 17, so call that 170 plus 16, we're at 186. Again, basically guess I'll just hit 6-iron again. There we go, that's more like it. That's gonna be out towards the right, but it's definitely up there. That was a little more flush. Still gonna be a pretty bad score with that ball in the water, but all right, 4th hole, par 4. We're gonna aim up here. Looks nice and open. Still off the heel. It's going to be lower than I would like in left, but .260 for still not a great strike. That was probably a decent swing. It was still off the heel, so it wasn't off the middle of the club face. That was probably, I would give it about a 75-80% swing there, distance and power wise. So we have 198. Should be my 200 club on course, which is my 5-iron. It's gonna be pretty far right, but again, it's up there. Based on the start, I'm kind of worried about using my 60-degree, trying it out. I kind of need all the good consistent shots I can get. Not exactly a experimental type club, but so we've got 23 plus we need another 2, so we need about 25. I think 25. I'm gonna go around 30-ish yards. I'm gonna go 56. Anything under about 30, 25 yards, I'll go 60 degrees. So we're gonna hit the 56 here. Open up the stance. Might be a little long, but it's straight. All right, we're on the par train. Fifth hole, par 4, big dog leg right up there. So we're gonna aim right about there. Should, if we put a little draw on it, come back into the fairway. No way we'll get 312, but that's just the line I'm taking. Still with my driver, my swing thoughts have been basically flaring out my feet a little bit, add a little width to my stance, extend the arms a little bit more, relax the shoulders just a tad. That was more off the middle of the club face, but I hung it out to the right. Not on the water though, so we're in play. Tricky second shot here, so 163 with the slope, plus we'll need another 16, so that's 173, 179, so 180. That should be 7 iron territory. Based on those past couple shots, I kind of have in the back of my mind maybe clubbing up one just in case we hit it real bad to make sure we're over this water, but if we really hit one good, we'll be 10 yards past where we're trying to be, so. That was hit good. A little left. Had to wake up the R10 again for some reason, but that was right on the number where we were trying to hit, so pretty good shot there. Gonna need some birds with the camo shorts to make up for some of those first few holes that were pretty bad, but we'll see what we can do. One hole at a time here, one shot at a time. We're gonna aim. Seems like I've been basically, I started off the past couple rounds opening the club face just a tad. Now I'm back towards basically just trying to square it up as much as I can, so we're gonna aim here. I've had a couple that have faded, a couple that have turned over right to left, so we're gonna aim right up the middle there. See what happens. Give us a little bit of room, both left and right. Definitely got room left, but if we pull one right, oh, that's not good. A little bit of a rock there in the ground where I put the club down to grab a tee, but definitely got room left. If we pull one a little bit right, it should be clear of that water, I would hope. Launched it a little low. It's going to be relatively straight and turn over to the left, so it should be clear water-wise. .280 will take that. So 144. That's either strong pitching wedge, soft 9. We're gonna go soft 9. Make sure we get over this water. Just to be safe, we're gonna aim just slightly left of the center of the green. Choke down about an inch here, I would think, maybe a half an inch on the 9. I play my 9 to about 155, 160 on course, so taking a little bit off this. Looking for probably about 145-ish, 150. I hung it out to the right. That should have the distance. All right. A few better swings here now. Got a couple pars. 7th hole, par 3. We've got 203. So I'm gonna go 5. Might come up a little short, but 5 is a 200 club, so if we hit it thin, it'll get there. If we hit it a little fat, it might be 5, 10, 15 yards short, but see if we can keep the better swings going here. Low and left, that's a bad swing there. Crazy game that golf is. You can go from so good to decent to really bad to back to good, all within even the same hole or within a couple holes within the same round. So 44 plus we need another 4, so we're at 48. We're gonna go choke down 52 here. In my mind, I'm playing this to about 50 yards. See what happens here. Struck it pretty clean. Might be a little long right. Stayed on the green though. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I'd assume most of you out there can't hit it within a couple yards every single time and drop it into a bucket like the pros can do. So I kind of have in the back of my mind whatever yardage I need here. I kind of round it to a ballpark number and try to hit close to that. So 8th hole, long par 4. We're looking pretty straight out there. Only bunkers to worry about. So we're gonna give the old driver a good rip here. Started right. Hopefully it comes back a tad. That was a little off the toe. Oh, it's not coming back. It's out there though, 266. These fairway stats at the end of the round is going to be a little ugly. But honestly, if I were to hit that on course and be just in the rough, I'd probably be alright with that. I certainly don't hit all the fairways when I'm playing in real life, so. We've got 179 down once. We're at 178 plus another 17, which would be 188, 195. We're gonna go 5 iron. Smooth swing with the 5. Hopefully get some redemption from that last one. Better strike. It's going to be right. I didn't get the club face around on that, but again, should be up there. So, pin high right. Alright. 18, plus we need another 1.8, so we're right around 20. We're going to go 50, or actually 60 degree rather, for the first time. Might even be the first time I've ever hit the 60 on video here, so we'll see. A chip in would be pretty cool. I pulled it left. Just feels though that with the lower amount of bounce, if I'm even saying that stuff correctly, basically it's just feels like a thinner club to get under the ball. Should be a little bit easier. I'm not going to hit as many super basically mishits, fat and thin balls that I would and I have been doing with the 56. That's kind of why I went to, for a while, basically 2 years almost in a row, I was going 52 around the green. So I feel like I could a little bit thinner of a club, the sole of it, I could get under the ball a little bit better. I would have a few, or I guess more than a few, I'd have some issues with really thick grass if it was sitting down. Sometimes I would hit them a little fat and still hit some a little thin, but seem to be a little more consistent that way. Hopefully we can find a happy medium between all 3 of the wedges and actually utilize all the clubs in the bag. So we might start. I've been pulling some to the right. They've been fading. I did that again with the stupid rock, picking up the tees. I think we might start just aiming down the middle of the fairway. Out to the right again. .268 into the bunker, but that's right. Even that, some of these haven't been great swings dispersion wise and taking a good line. They've been kind of spraying left and right, but versus those pop-up shots like you saw in the first tee box, I'll take these all day. So long way home still. We're gonna aim up here. We're gonna rip 3 hybrid out of the sand. I know, like I mentioned in other videos, you can't really do that unless it's a really thin, basically like fairway style bunker that you can kind of like walk into and drive through type thing. I think there's a special name for them, I forget what it is, but so unless it was one of those, you can't really hit it out of a bunker, but for this sake, we need all the help we can get. We're gonna hit a 3 hybrid. I guess if there was, hopefully I get to the point where I'm putting up good enough consistent numbers where I can turn the wind on and then actually hit. I pretty much do everything besides, granted we have pretty much a perfect lie here every single time, but turn the wind on to make it a little more challenging. I'll have to take that into account, although it's kind of hard to see, so I might have to rethink that. The wind's kind of tough. It's a tiny, I use my phone, so it's a tiny little number up there, but the wind will add some difficulty, and then the only other thing I can think of is basically just actually hitting. I'd probably hit like a 5 or probably a 5 iron, maybe even a 6 just to get it up and out of this bunker instead of a hybrid, but make things a little more realistic. Struck it good, but that's gonna go pretty far right. I know there was water up there. We're not that far right though, so we're all right. All right, you might need this again. So we got 224. We're gonna go right at the pin here. 224 plus we'll need another basically 22 because we're in the rough from the 10% power reduction, so 3 hybrid once again. That was hit pretty good. We will take that all day long. With the rough there, that was probably about 240-ish rolled out. And we squeak out a par. 10th hole, par 3. So front 9 through 9 we were +7, a little bit better than bogey golf. Granted, this is a Ryder Cup style course, so it's definitely not easy if it's a championship level course, and we are pretty far back. I don't know where the women's are at, I guess maybe that second or third tee box up there. So the men's are pretty far back, probably not as far back as like an actual, if they were playing the tournament this week for example, it would probably be even further back, but gotta play with the options that I'm given here. So all that to say, probably aiming for bogey golf is usually for the championship tour level courses. Probably a little bit, a good goal would be maybe around 10-ish over would be probably pretty good, especially after the first few holes. But anyways, we got 194 to the hole with the slope. I think we're gonna go 5. If we really catch one, it's gonna be long, but 6, we would kind of have to muscle up. It's straight, but I caught it heavy, so that's gonna be short. Or not. I guess that slope helped us out. Maybe that was closer to like a 185-ish, 190 shot because we were hitting down 10 yards into this green. So maybe the little bit of a fat shot there helped me out. It wasn't a terrible shot, but it was definitely heavy. Could also have been a slight misread there, and we actually benefited from a misread for once. So, 11th hole, par 5, pretty far. 554 is the hole. We're gonna aim right up there in the middle. We're hitting down 7 yards, so should get a little more distance out of this drive if we catch one. It's gonna be pretty straight, but I didn't get all of it. Not too bad though. 280. I have found, which is probably actually pretty similar to real life, obviously, if you're, as a plane goes by, what I was saying is probably pretty similar to real life. If you're not putting a whole lot of side spin one way or the other, the ball's going to go further. But I found that the Garmin definitely punishes and rewards you for those type of shots. You get definitely more distance if you're hitting them pretty straight versus it kills a good amount of distance if you're pulling them either left or right pretty far. So we got 276 all the way to the hole. 3 hybrid, I suppose. See if we can get something 250-ish up there, would be good. Struck it pretty good, but it's gonna be right. We'll take that though. I had that in the back of my mind versus that water, so. All right, we hit our number right on the dot, 251. If we caught that, that was pretty close. I would say I'd give that again. That was a little bit better. That was probably 85-ish, 90% of what I can do with that club. So if we caught it a little bit cleaner, we probably, and straighter, we probably could have got 260-ish, 265 out of that. But that's asking a lot after a 251 shot with a 3 hybrid off the deck, so we'll take that for sure. 32. We're gonna go 56. That might be long. It was relatively straight, a little bit left. I kind of hit that kind of hard though. 3 yards long. Definitely nice and encouraging that the R10 seems to be picking up shots pretty good again. So it's definitely nice when you know you did a certain thing, either thin, fat, long, short, left, right, etc., and the R10 shows it. So 12th hole, par 4. We've got a bunch of water all around, so this looks like the widest landing spot. We're gonna aim right about there. We've got a good amount of room long, and we'll go this way just a little bit. Try to turn this one over. Didn't get all of it, but that's going to turn over towards the left. And we got it to work out in the fairway, so a little bit worrisome when you got water left and right off the tee, but a little bit of a fairway finder type shot there versus going 100% at it. I'm actually, after that first one, have been hitting the driver better, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. See if we can continue that for the next 7 holes or whatever. So we're in the fairway. We've got 177, so we're going to play it towards 180, which would be a 7-iron. I want to make sure we get over that water, but there's a good amount of space up there. We should be able to do that, even if we catch it a little heavy. That was thin and to the right. Bunker kind of saved us. If that would have hit the rough, that might have rolled out even further. That probably would have been about 10 yards past the green on the right. But we ended up pretty close to pin high, so we've got, and we're not even, we went through the bunker, so we're in the rough. So we only got 10% minus or versus 20. So we need 15 plus another 1.5. We're right at 16.5. We're gonna go 60 degree. And see, I hit, I think it was like maybe five or so shots with the 60 while I was warming up on the range before this. So let's see if I can get 15 yards out of this shot here. It was left again. And caught it. Swung at it a little much. It was a little long, 4 yards long, but we'll take that. (13) par 3. A bunch of water again. So we are definitely aiming left side of the green. We need 187 there, 182 to the pin. So I think we'll go 7-iron. We could probably do a 6, but if we really catch a 6, it'll be long. 7. It looks like we got some room up there, water-wise. So even if again we hit the 7 a little heavy, it should carry the water. Struck it pretty good, but I pulled it left, and we aimed left, so that's going to be definitely left of left. We're dry though, no water. See if we can get up and down from the bunker here. So 23, plus we need another 4 yards because we're in the bunker. So we're looking at 27. Let's try the 60. That might be short. That was a tad heavy, plus we were out of the bunker. Poor shot. That was a waste of a stroke. Oh, it gave us a +2 though. That was lucky. That was generous. All right, 14, par 4. Water on both sides again. This is a little hairy, but we've got some room, so we're gonna go right there, take that line. Looks pretty good to me. Let's see what happens. Martin, you'll have to let me know if you're still watching at this point if you've played this course. Martin told me in the comments I think he said right now he plays off of, I think it was 7 and change handicap or something like that, and it used to be a 5. So Martin, who requested this video, is pretty good. You'll have to let me know if you've played this course, what type of score you put up. Started right. I don't know if that's going to come back a whole lot. Carried the water though, so right around our 275 number. This new old driver that I've been using, the white one, Rocket Balls, as opposed to my RBZ black that I used for basically the first half of all the videos I put up, is older, but I think this head is slightly bigger and it definitely sounds a good amount louder, so my neighbors probably don't love that, but sounds good. 129 down 1. We're gonna aim to the right side of this. We're gonna hit a pitching wedge. That was right. That might be long. If we actually aimed in the middle of the green, we probably would have caught that, but that's what I get for trying to avoid the water. So we've got 16 down 2, which is 14, plus we need another basically 1.4, 1.5, so right around 15 yards here. I'm gonna go 60 degree. A little left. That should be a decent number, I would think. And it is. So far so good with the 60 degree. Definitely can get underneath it a little bit better. I'm not hitting as many skull jobs and super thin wedge shots when you don't need to. 15th hole, par 4, big dog leg right. Can we go over this? I think we can. It's up 10. We gotta go over some trees, but we should be able to clear those. We'll aim up here just a little bit. We'll take that line. Granted, Bryson can hit it about 150, 100 yards longer than I can, but this reminds me of a kind of a Bryson DeChambeau type of line. Probably relatively unconventional for most of the people that play this course and this hole. Struck it pretty good, relatively straight as well. Alright, we'll take that. Got 32 yards left to the hole. Down 5. So that's at 27. Plus we need another 2 or 3 yards, so we're right at 30. We're gonna go 56 and not mess around here after that drive that worked out. That might be long. I swung too much on that. Caught the green though. Should be another par. Sixteenth hole, par 4. Looks pretty straight. I mentioned in some of the videos, granted these settings are still relatively new, so I don't know, I thought that the Home Tee Hero here would start putting me further out on basically what they think I'm gonna hit. Still only putting me about 240. Maybe that's just the average, or whatever that it was. I think it was around there. Maybe that's just what the average user kind of hits out there, so they do it based on that. That's pretty far right. Making good contact today though, which is encouraging. And although I'm not closing the club face like I do in real life on course, it seems like maybe it was partially the container over the R10, or just the really hot humid weather. Could have been that with the haziness the past few days, but it seems like this is more accurate. I seem to still, on course, I'm able to draw more with this driver with the settings turned up, the loft higher, which closes the club face, so I'm able to straighten it out and put some draw on it, but it still seems like sometimes on course I miss some to the right, which this so far, these past few rounds, has been reflecting that with my driver in the R10, so again, encouraging if it's the accuracy continues to improve here. So, long way home, 263. Plus we're out of the rough, which is going to take another 10%. We're going to hit 3 hybrid pretty much as far and as hard up there as we can. Hopefully get within a wedge here. It's gonna be relatively straight. It might fade a little bit, but I caught that kind of heavy, so I didn't get all of it. And the rough's probably gonna kill it here. Not bad though. With the 10% power reduction, that was probably about 220-ish, 225 type shot. So we've got 60 yards, plus we need another 6 because we're in the rough, so we need 66. We're gonna go 52. A full 52 is about, I don't know, anywhere, I guess, it's about 115-ish, anywhere from 110 to about 120, depending on how I hit it. So this is going to be about a half-ish 52, at least that's what I'm trying to do. Struck it good. I might have put too much on it. Luckily all the greens are relatively soft here within Home Tee Hero, so if you hit the green it kind of dies. '17th hole, par 3. Been having some bogeys as of late, so we're +9, kind of right where I was hoping to be if we don't blow up on these last 2 holes. So we've got 206 down 7, so we need 199, which should be a nice 5-iron. Caught that pretty heavy to the right. That's gonna be probably 50 yards short to the right. Not quite 50, but 25 yards short. So, we're in the bunker. We have 25 yards to the pin, up 3, so we're at 28, plus we're going to need another, call it 4, 5, 6 yards, we'll call it 5. So we're right at 33. We're going to go 56. Just going to try to play a 30-yard shot here. Caught it a little heavy, but it was relatively straight, a tad left. That was generous. It also felt, I mean, granted we were out of the bunker. I was noticing on some of the replays that I watched, sometimes I feel like some of the wedge shots, they could have been slight misreads, which that could have been slightly, but I also noticed depending on how it goes, instead of the ball rolling out like it usually does, I'm probably 75-80% of the holes when you hit the green a little bit. If you're out of the bunker and hitting slightly, if the green's slightly up even 1 or 2 yards, pretty much it hits what I've noticed on some of the shots, which I didn't see that one. It's probably gonna be similar though. It pretty much hits wherever it is, and because you're hitting into pretty much an upslope, it kind of just dies. So that maybe would have rolled out another 5 yards or so out of the bunker, plus hitting up into that, it probably just killed it. But added another stroke to the scorecard. Unfortunately, we've got the 18th, which is a par 5, pretty straight, so we're gonna aim up here. Don't have much to worry about besides those bunkers. That was high on the club face. It was straight, but that's not going to go very far. One of the worst drives in a couple holes. Only 218 there, which is probably pretty accurate. So, we've got, how much to this water? Oh, the water's way up there. Alright, we got room for the 3 hybrid. A little off the heel, but that was decent. It's going to be a little left. I don't know if it's going to come back to the right or not. Pretty good shot there. 265 is kind of crazy, in my opinion. I'm impressed with these clubs, especially being 10 years old. 265 with a 3 hybrid off the deck. It's kind of wild. I mentioned it, I think it was the last video. I think I've only hit the 3 wood that I got that matches. Less than, it was probably 5 or 10 times if that, but if I can hit and do that more consistently, about anywhere from, it's a wide range, but 230-ish up to 270 off the deck with that 3 hybrid, depending on how I hit it. I'm not sure where the 3 wood has a place in the bag, really, besides off the tee, especially with the 3 hybrid. It's supposed to be easier to hit out of even the fairway, and especially in the rough. So I don't know, I guess something to think about club selection wise going forward. So we've got 112 down 4, so we're at 108. We're gonna go choke down pitching wedge, 108. struck it pretty clean. .109, we'll take that all day. +1. Finish off with a bird. So, all said and done, from Celtic Manor Resort Golf Club, this was the 2010 course, assuming that means 2010 Ryder Cup style course. I think I read somewhere quickly that they made this course almost for that, or maybe it was a composite course, something along that lines, but we ended up with a +980, so pretty good. Basically half as good as, or basically half of bogey golf, so we'll take that. Would have liked to have been in the 70s, a little closer to par, like maybe 5 over, but this was still somewhat a tricky course, especially with the water. We swung the driver better, so we hit 6 out of 13 fairways, a little under 50%, but we'll take that. And then irons were decent. We hit 7 out of 18 fairways. We'd like to be closer to 9 or 10 out of there, or 9 greens in regulation rather. We'd like to be closer to 9 or 10 greens in regulation, but 31 putts, that's kind of a lot. Over 18 holes, that's almost, it's like 2 putts a hole almost. So we went 43 on the front, mostly due to those first couple holes, which was pretty rough, and then the back we played pretty good. We went 2 over 37 on the back, which I'm pretty happy about. We had some birds in there. Was swinging the driver better after those first few holes, and even wedge shots and irons. I would say overall pretty decent round, if I had to say, if I had to judge myself, besides those first few holes where we went double bogey, bogey, and then another double, which was rough. Everything else besides that were pars, bogeys, and birdies. So again, shout out to Martin Totterdale. He's been commenting on, I think, every single video, helping me out, so I really appreciate the support and you suggesting courses. Any of you guys out there, let me know other courses you'd like to see me play. If not, I'm sure Martin will keep giving me courses. So until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next course.